The Kia Sorento SX. This is the top of the line Sorento, and I've done videos on this vehicle before, but in this video, we're gonna go really in depth on some of the features that a lot of the other videos aren't showing you. So sometimes the car reviewers simply don't know, maybe they didn't do the research. Other times they are features that matter to you, but they take a little bit more time to fit into a video than your typical 3, 5, 8-minute review. So we're gonna go fully in depth on this car. I think you're gonna enjoy it. And it'll be a little choppy. But if you've never joined us before and you're not live with us, you can skip ahead to the 3-minute mark. At the 3-minute mark, that'll be where we start with the content. In the meantime, we're gonna let our live audience build. And as we do that, I'll show you how to join us if you'd like to stick around for that. And we'll also talk about some news and some notes. So let's flip around over here. And here is our YouTube channel. You probably have already seen it. If you are on there exactly at 2 o'clock on a weekday, you can see right here, this is our sort of standard video, whatever's there. We have a bunch of different videos that'll go through there. If I refresh the page exactly at 2 o'clock, which is what I'm doing right now, you'll see our live video tab right there. So we'll click into that. And of course, you'll have to watch an ad apparently for a Dodge Ram. And in the meantime, I'm gonna run a quick ad ourselves. If you're looking to buy in Ontario and you wanna buy a Kia or a Hyundai, that would be easiest. You can reach out to you can reach out to me. There'll be a link in the description as soon as it's done, and I will connect you with our local dealers, Brantford Kia, Brantford Hyundai, Owen Sound Hyundai. Those are the 3 dealers that support this channel. Do me a favor, buy from them. It helps. I run terrible ads. This is great. I'm not an ad guy. Okay, so we're skipping that ad. There we go. If you guys that are on right now, I got a bunch of regulars on. If you want to comment, say hello, say something in the comment section, that'll help us just know that it's getting going. And then we'll get going as well here. We got about a minute and 10 seconds before the video starts. So let's talk about what's going on. First of all, if you're Canadian, go vote. Why not? And hello from New Brunswick. So there we go. Got some comments coming in. All right, so we do have voting day today here, and we'll see what that does for our local turnout. But of course, we've got a worldwide audience hopefully joining us. What else is going on? You guys are asking about Sorentos because we have a Sorento. PHEV, so plug-in hybrid electric vehicle, will be showing up this month. Supposedly the last day or 2 of the month. So hopefully there's no delay, because if it's a single day delayed, it'll be October, but we're gonna try to get that up this month. And PHEVs, if you'd like to order one, connect with me now, because we are taking pre-orders right now. What else is going on? I think if you guys asked about anything else, I think that's about it. I've been digging into when the next Forte will show up. I've been trying to figure out when the Ioniq 5 is going to show up. It looks like it might be a little bit delayed. So a lot of these cars may be a slight bit delayed from where we would normally expect in normal years. Things are weird in the automotive industry right now, so that's what it is. All right, we're going to have less people on right now, and that's okay. It's going to be a quiet day, which means I can answer your questions better. So here we go. 3, 2, 1. Hey everybody, it's Peter from the Kia Hyundai channel. All right, this is the 2021 Kia Sorento. Now, we have the 2021 because the very next model we get in will be the 22. It's not here yet. It's essentially a carryover with new logos. So this video applies to that vehicle as well. And what we're gonna do in this video is a little bit unique. A typical car review would take it for a nice drive, give you a whole sorts of pretty scenery, those kinds of things, but they don't get into the details. And I find that people who actually buy this car, who actually really want to know about this car, they want to know some of the details, what makes this special, what makes this unique, and that's what we're going to do here. So we're going to go into the details. Sometimes these videos I feel like are a little bit less entertaining, but I do think that they have generally been appreciated by you guys. And because we've already done an SX video in the past, we're kind of doing an overall overview. We're going to skip some details that probably other videos cover, and we're going to go into things that they don't cover. So let's start with that, and we'll start with flipping the camera around. Do me a favor, guys. We're going to have less people on today, so the more likes we can get, the better. Let's say we got 15 people on right now to start. Let's see if we can get to 15 likes to start the video, and we'll keep going from there. All right, like I said, this one is the 2021 model, so it does have the older style key, which means it has the older style logo, and that's okay. And over here are your buttons right there. One button I want you to realize is this press to hold. Although this car does have UVO intelligence, it also has the remote start on the key fob. So there's a lot of things this key fob can do for you. One of the key things is if you activate the smart tailgate, I have a video on that as well. You can walk to the back of this vehicle with the key in hand. It'll sense that the key is nearby or in your pocket or purse. Once it senses it, you don't have to wave your foot underneath the trunk or anything like that. You simply stand there with a smart lift gate activated. We'll show you how to activate that later in the video. And that tailgate can open automatically just with standing there. So that's a nice feature to have. We're gonna throw it in our pocket, and you know what? Let's just start with the tailgate really quickly, and then we'll move around and show you a couple other features that not everybody's showing you right now. So again, power tailgate is nice. One quick little feature, because this key fob is generally kept in your purse or your pocket, This button right here closes it. We've had that for a long time in our vehicles. In this video, it's different than the Carnival. This lock button will do two things. It will close it and lock the vehicle. And why does that matter? Because again, if the key fob's in your pocket and you just closed it, one of the things you used to have to do if you didn't want to dig the fob out of your pocket or purse is you would have to close that, walk around to here, hit the lock button on the side of the door handle, and then you could leave. So now, the last thing you do is you hit the lock button. That will close the vehicle and lock it. So we'll try that right now. Hit the button, it's gonna close down, and it's gonna lock the car. And there we go. So now the whole car is locked and you can walk away, which is kind of nice. And you can see also the mirrors fold in. That's an option for you to do if you want on this vehicle. And it does kind of put the mirrors just inside sort of where the wheels are. So it's kind of a nice feature to have. When I want to unlock the vehicle, lots of ways I can do that. I can hit the key fob. A single tap over here will unlock all the doors. A double tap will unlock, double tap will unlock all the doors. Single tap will unlock just the driver's door. And if you want a single tap to unlock all the doors, you can do that as well. We'll show you that in this video. Single tap, just to unlock this door. I am going to open all the doors. One of the things that's pretty cool here is you do have a little light right there, which does light up this area. So when you unlock the door, if you use the key fob or whatever else, you can see the reflection there on the paint. It's now gone. It will light up that door handle, which is kind of a cool feature. One thing I did is I actually left the vehicle dirty on purpose down here. Another thing that other videos aren't showing you, you can see the wheel will shoot dirt up in this area. That's pretty common in a car. What's different about the Sorento is a lot of SUVs have a door that ends right along here, and when you get out of a taller vehicle, your leg, especially if you're shorter, can rub the bottom of the vehicle and you can get your pants dirty. On both front and rear doors, that doesn't happen. You can see it's dirty on the outside, but you can see the shininess over here. You've got this lip here, the plastic lip that comes all the way around, and it connects up here with a rubber seal. That seal is not a super good seal, but it does keep the dirt out, which means as you're getting out of the seat here, you do have the ability to rub your legs along that, and it will not get you dirty. While we're here at the seat, let's talk about some advantages to the seat as well, things other videos don't show you. You have lumbar support, but it's four-way lumbar support. That's pretty rare in our cars. For whatever reason, they don't put four-way lumbar in very many vehicles, but of course it can go in and out for your lumbar and up and down. And then you have this button right here. If you watch the front of the seat right there, I'm gonna press this button here, and that seat will lengthen. If you're ever sharing this vehicle, that's a huge feature for taller drivers especially. It really covers on the seat, and even like a 6 foot, maybe average sized person like myself, maybe I'm above average, I'm not sure, 6 feet's about average in my mind. It works very well to support your legs, even if you're not the most tall person in the world. So really ability to lengthen and shorten that seat, because if you are short, that's gonna be too long of a seat. It doesn't look like much, but it really makes a difference when you sit in there. In Canada, you'll be happy to know we have memory seats in this vehicle, although that does not come standard in the United States. Before we jump in, I am going to hit the headlights for just a quick second here. We'll turn them on, turn the fog lights on, because I want to show you one little feature there. In this vehicle, where are the rear turn signals? Oh, we'll show you that in a second here. So in this vehicle, every Sorento has LED lights, and a lot of people forget to look beyond that. But in the upper trim levels, like this SX and actually the EX Plus as well, you have a higher level of LED headlights. And these are the ones that always get the top safety pick plus rating from the Insurance Institute for Highway Safety, the IIHS. And you can see the difference here. I don't know if you can see it on camera, but they are very blazingly sharp, cut off, and very bright. So we'll shine the light over here. This does not accurately reflect. These are really white, but whatever reason when I film on this wall, they look a little bit yellow. But you can sort of see the exact cutoff. It's a very sharp cutoff. There's a little bit more of a blur to the sharp cutoff with the lower trim line headlights. So these ones have a nice sharp cutoff and also help reduce glare. You've also got the fog lights down low there, which are also LED, give you an extra light on the road. And then these, on the higher trim levels, become your signal lights. On the lower trim levels, you have a signal light right in there, whereas this one is always just a white daytime running light. On the upper trim levels here, this will become your signal light, which gives you a bit of a different look. So why don't we just turn on one signal for a second. As we do that, you can sort of see the comparison. Now, color is never perfectly reproduced on this camera. So white lights there, and this goes to an amber and off. Or is it amber and on? No, it's amber and dimmed, it looks like. Anyways, it is amber. It's hard to see. It's much clearer amber in real life. So there you go. Somebody asked to see the rear signal lights. Why don't we show them that while they're on? You've got signal lights in the mirrors there as well. And you asked where your rear signal lights are? Well, there you go. Signal lights are on the inside right there. LED lights there as well. It looks like it's flickering a little bit there. That's not flickering, it's just the way the lights interact with the camera. All right, let's jump in the vehicle. And while we're talking about signal lights, we're actually gonna commit the sin of starting a gasoline vehicle inside our video bay. So let's just turn this off for a second, turn this to on. All right, now you can see when I signal left, that is your blind view monitor, and signal right, that is your blind view monitor. So this is standard on this SX trim line with these nicer doors. Actually, while we're off here, let's turn that to the on position again. I don't know if you saw that vehicle blinking there, but it showed you when you turn the vehicle off that the driver's window is open. It's blinking red there. So another little thing that other videos don't show you. All right, so we'll turn the vehicle back to the on position. I had to start the car to show you these blind view monitor type situations. So I just wanted to make sure I did that. Now, in the Kia Carnival, when you have a similar dash like this, which is in the SX trim line, or actually the EX Plus or the SX, you have a 12.3-inch screen here. This, I believe, is a 12.3-inch screen here, but the 10.25-inch screen there. If you go with the Kia Carnival, 12.3 here and 12.3 here. So 10.25-inch screen here, very good, very clear. But just to be clear, there is a difference between the Carnival and this. All right, let's show you, what were we gonna show you? Let's just show you into the settings here for a second. I should also show you the heads-up display. I'm gonna turn the headlights off, or at least to the, oh, let's just turn them off. Fog lights off. Oh, you know what, it doesn't wanna turn off right now. Doesn't matter. We're gonna leave them, there we go. So now you can see the heads-up display. Heads-up display is almost impossible to film. We're gonna show you the options you can put in there. What I like about the heads-up display is it is in the dash. You can adjust the brightness of that, and I've already lost focus on there. There we go. And but you can have a lot more information there than just the speed limit. One of the things that's cool about the speed limit though is when you're driving along, the heads-up display can display the speed limit in orange or red. Orange if you're within 10 kilometers above that zero, like the speed limit, and red if you're above that. And you can set that speed limit to set. So let's say you want to drive, you're willing to drive 5 or 10 kilometers over the limit. You can set that up so that it stays white until it hits that 5 or 10 kilometers over. So as soon as it changes color, you'll know that you're over the speed limit by whatever you set it at, or just add the speed limit for wherever you have it. All right, let's jump into here. Passenger talk, those are kind of cool things. We can speak to our passengers. Those are some things we've maybe talked about. We'll jump back into them in a second, but let's just go over to the settings, which is right over here. And we're gonna go into the vehicle settings right over here. Again, maybe not the most entertaining video. Driving convenience, we could talk about some of these, but I was gonna do heads-up display, cluster. Let's go with the cluster first. Let's start with the cluster. Where are we? Theme selection. So you can see the theme right now is linked to the drive mode. That'll be the way it comes from the factory. But now I'm going to switch through theme A, B, C, and D. So you're going to watch it over here while I'm switching between them. Theme A is where you have it normally. Theme B is what would be the sport mode of the vehicle. Maybe I'll zoom in a hair so you can see a little bit better. Very cool looking sport mode there. Theme, and you can, what I'm saying here is, I guess I should clarify, when it says theme A, B, C, or D, you can leave it on just this theme regardless of your drive mode. But currently, when we have the vehicle first new to you, it'll be linked to your drive mode. So this would be your sport mode, but you could leave it as your full dash. And again, I wish it would show up a little better on camera. It's actually a little more detailed than what you're seeing on camera here, but pretty cool. Theme C is a little bit more of a digital look to the numbers there, like the old quartz watches. And then theme D is pretty fun. This one, and I believe this one changes with the daylight, sort of like in the Kia Carnival. So evening, it'll look a little different, but very cool, kind of relaxing kind of look, whatever way you want to look at things. So we'll leave it back on link to the drive mode there, but you can really customize this dash. In addition to going through the settings in here, you can really customize that. Some of you are asking some great questions here. Go ahead, ask those questions. I'm going to take a break in about 4 minutes here, and we'll take your questions, 4 or 5 minutes tops. We'll make sure you get your questions, and we'll go from there. If you're asking a question like, does the Seltos have any towing capacity? The answer is no, but we're going to try to stay on topic with this vehicle. After the 30-minute mark, we'll go a little bit off topic. So if you have off-topic questions, you can feel free to ask them. It's just easier if you ask them at the 30-minute mark, because it's easier for me to find them. All right, let's keep going through here. Let's go back over here, and we'll show you some of the driver assistance menus here. So driver assistance, driving convenience, these are all pretty standard stuff. Highway drive assist, highway auto speed change. So this vehicle, when you have highway drive assist, the basics of how this works is you use your cruise control, which of course can keep the distance between you and the vehicle in front of you, even in stop and go traffic, and that's where I really like to use the stop and go traffic. You combine that with lane follow assist and lane keeping assist, which is this button right here, which actively steers you to keep you centered in the lane. So essentially the car can steer itself to keep you centered in the lane. You're still responsible for it, but that's what the car can do. You have to keep your hand on the steering wheel, although you can get away with holding it off. And the car can accelerate and brake on its own. Highway drive assist will work with you really well in those situations to just keep the car centered and adjust the speed with you. It works really well. And if there's a change in speed limits because of speed sign or even sometimes a curve, the vehicle is capable of slowing itself down a little bit on those highway drive assist. So it makes way more sense when you see it in action, but kind of a nice feature to have on this SX model. Warning timings, we'll just go down here. This is just normal or late for some of the warnings. The volumes, that's fine. Haptic warning, that's fine. It gives you a little bit of a buzz. Driver attention warning. Leading vehicle departure is newer on these cars than inattentive driving warning. So it says, hey, if you're not paying attention, you're going to see that show up in your dash. And it checks that by a variety of ways. It's a great thing to have. Again, if you're a poor driver, this will show up. Normally what it does is it'll take 5 hours of driving for this to show up. There's 5 bar graphs, and all those 5 bar graphs have to disappear. So it really might be 6 hours by the time all 5 disappear. But if you're seeing that before 5 hours, you're probably not driving the best, and it's going to say, hey, take a break. Leading vehicle departure alert is kind of nice too. Let's be honest, sometimes we get a little distracted at the stoplights. Maybe you're looking around, maybe you're looking down, which you shouldn't do. As soon as the vehicle in front of you leaves, you don't have to wait for the guy behind you to honk. The car will warn you right away. And it actually works very well. I've used it at the bank drive-through. I've used it at other places, so pretty cool. Forward safety, active assist only. So provides a warning when a vehicle, a risk of collision detected. So basically, if there's a collision ahead of you, or if there's a chance that you're going to collide into a vehicle in front of you, you can set it for just a warning, but you can also set it for active assist. In other words, it can actively brake the car. It's capable of actively braking the car. Lane safety, let's turn that one back to the assist as well. So you can do a warning only. If you leave the lane, it'll just beep at you, or you can set it on the assist, which is why I have it on. Automatically assist with steering to help prevent the vehicle from leaving the lane. So again, when you're getting to the edge of the lane marker, it's going to nudge you back in. It works very, very well. Why is that helpful? Because if you're like me, every now and then you look around here and you hit a couple buttons and you just drift a little bit. I've driven on a motorcycle and had people drift a little bit and go well past the lane. So this isn't going to allow you to do that in most senses. You know, you're still responsible, but it's going to help with that. Blind spot safety, same thing. Active assist. What this means is if you're switching a lane, if you see something in your blind spot, it's using the radar at the rear of the camera to look for someone behind you. If it sees someone in your lane, this little light's going to warn you right there. But if you still turn in anyways, or let's say someone's come in from another lane to the center lane and you're about to go into the center lane, if it sees a risk of a collision, it is capable of just nudging you back in, braking the front right wheel, which nudges you back in. It is actively assisting you. So when it says active assist, it generally means steering or braking, but it can actively assist you to keep you out of the vehicle. Safe exit assist as well is also able to lock the rear door when they try to get out in traffic. Let's say you're parked on the side of the road and there's a car flying down this lane here. The rear passenger's child lock can be set so that they can't open the door into traffic when the traffic is going by. All of these are in the same setting because it uses the same radar system for blind spot detection, safe exit assist, and rear cross traffic alert. Parking safety is pretty cool too. Rear cross traffic alert. We talked about that when somebody's crossing your path, it can warn you. Camera settings, you can have the surround view monitor on, so you can set this up. Basically what happens is you have the beeping as soon as I approach something in front of me. So you have parking sensors in the front and the back. When you're backing up, your rear view camera's on. We're going to show you that rear view camera in a second. But when you're going forward, if you are approaching something and the parking beepers start beeping, it will automatically show you the 360 camera, which we're just going to show you in a minute here. So in other words, that front camera will come on. If there's a curb in front of the car and you're approaching it, it'll start beeping. As soon as it starts beeping, it's going to show you why it's beeping by putting on the 360 camera. So let's show you the 360 camera right now. There's that 360 camera. It's set up for reverse right now. These guidelines can warn you if I turn the wheel a little bit. As the front wheel swings back around, those can swing out and tell you where the front's going to swing. So really clear 360 camera, and if you throw it into drive, it's going to show you in front of you. So now like I said, when the parking sensors go on in the front of the car, this camera, I just set that up, will come on to show you what's in front of the car. For instance, let's pretend that's a curb there. I can't see it from the driver's seat, but of course the car can see it. It will beep. As soon as you hear the beeping, it'll flash the camera up here and you can see, oh, that's what it's warning me about, the curb in front of me. You also have the ability to check out the exact side of the vehicle. So if you're parallel parking either side, you can do that front or rear, which is super helpful. You can look straight down from the front if you wanted to, and you can also do the same thing in reverse. We'll do that straight down from the front there as well. You can hitch your vehicle and you can look out the back, and you can do the side views as well. So again, stuff other videos don't show you, that's what we specialize in. All right, we're gonna come back to this menu in just a second. We'll take your questions really quickly, and then let's just put it in park for a second. We're gonna work our way down here through some of this stuff. Whoops, there we go. Some of the stuff in this system if you want, but right now, we're gonna go back and take your questions. So, good questions. Let's see what we got. Signal light just turned off. Do me a favor, guys, if you find this useful, I get that it's not entertaining, but if you're finding this video useful, do me a favor, hit that like button. We're going to try to get to about 45, 50 likes on this video, and I realize that's a lot, and I realize that this is not the most entertaining video, so do me a favor, hit that like button. That really helps us out. And if you want to see more about these videos, keep in mind, we are not just a review channel here. We're actually a dealer group. So if you want to see this vehicle again, I have no trouble pulling it in again and again and again to show you everything that you want to see. So hit the subscribe button if this is a vehicle you're interested in, and you can see more. All right. Are we able to purchase and install a spare tire hoist assembly? I have a new X-Line and notice no spare tire is an option. So yes, you can purchase stuff. I'm not sure of the exact cost of that kind of thing. The 2022 models, and you're not going to want to hear this. If you haven't bought a car, you'll want to hear this. 2022 models will all be standard. Now, I haven't checked the PHEVs, but the gas ones will all be standard with a spare tire which mounts underneath. 2021s obviously did not have that. There is a way to add that. I'm not sure what the process is or what that is, because obviously they have that mechanism that connects it to the bottom of the car. So you can add it. I just don't know what the process is with that. 2022s, if you're ordering that, you will have a spare tire. Has Android Auto and Apple CarPlay been enabled on the larger screen, or is it still wired only? At this point, it's wired only. I can tell you that the highest levels of Kia Canada know that I want to know, why is it wired only? Will there be a software update to enable it, which was the rumor at one point. They all know I'm asking this question. I can't be the first one they tell. They have to speak to their dealer group. They have to speak to everybody else. So an answer will be coming on that. They know that I want to know, and as soon as we do know, I'll let you guys know. And that's what they understand. They understand that I'm going to tell you guys right away as well. So, can we install 17-inch wheels on this Sorento for the winter? A local dealer told me that they would not fit, possibly due to the size of the brakes. So it is possible that the SX has a little bit larger brakes than some other trim lines. I think 17s will still fit because the base Sorento has 17s, but you may have to go to 18s. I feel like 17s still should fit, but they may have to be an alloy wheel at that point instead of a steel wheel. That's a good question though. I'm not 100% sure. 18s for sure. I feel like it comes with 17s on the 4-cylinder non-turbo. I don't know if the brakes are bigger here. I don't think they are. So I could be wrong and they could be right, but I feel like 17s should still fit. If the sensors are covered with mud, snow, and ice, will they still work properly? Great question. Okay, let's just cover that really quickly. Again, stuff other dealers aren't going to tell you. These sensors here, generally speaking, they can see a little bit past through stuff. Dirt, mud, that kind of stuff. Not always ice and snow. So those are the beepers that warn you. What's more common is your forward collision avoidance system, your smart cruise control, all of that. This is your radar plate out front. That can get covered with slush. And if it does, you get this warning in the dash that seems pretty severe. Forward collision warning, actually forward collision avoidance system inactive or something like that. It's kind of a scary warning until you realize exactly what's happening. On super slushy days, what you can do is come out, wipe that clean, and everything gets restored once you restart the car. So you will get a warning on the very slushiest of days with that radar plate. The rest of these systems should work very well, even in poor weather conditions, but that radar plate in particular does matter. And then again, you have a camera up here, which is also always looking forward. If that gets blocked, it's not going to allow your lane keep, lane follow assist, some of your forward collision warning, that kind of thing may not work as well. That one's usually cleared by the windshield wipers. That lower radar plate, because of its location, because of what it is, and because of the types of slushy and snowy roads we get into, sometimes that is blocked, and that can be an issue for some people. So keep going here. I've been slowly taking photos of mine, cataloging different backgrounds. Oh, that's cool. Okay. Really quickly, one of the things you can do, we talked about UVO Intelligence. That's a cell phone app that can do all kinds of things in this video or in this vehicle. I did a Kia class on this, and on this particular vehicle, the SX, you can use those 360 cameras to take pictures on your cell phone app, your UVO Intelligence app, and then like store them to your phone or that kind of thing. So wherever your car is, in addition to being able to locate it on your app, you can take pictures of it, which is pretty cool, or pictures from those cameras, which is pretty cool. I show you how to do that in what's called a Kia class, how to take pictures with your Kia. I apologize, I didn't pull it up. Maybe I'll put in the link in the description, but you can also do that in there. So that's pretty cool. All right, let's keep going through here. About 5-6 minutes to go of questions, and then we'll keep digging through. We're at 29 likes. We're still going for about 45 or so we got some work to do. Let's just show you the drive and terrain modes. You don't get these in every American vehicle. So it's worth pointing out because not a lot of reviews are going to point this out. If you are Canadian, you get this. Let's just zoom in a little bit. All right, so drive modes, Comfort, Eco, Sport, and Smart. And as you know, we linked the dash to those drive modes, so it will change between at least 3 of these modes. Let's talk about them. Eco is going to resist downshifting. It's going to have a dull throttle feel. The steering is going to be a little looser-ish, but I don't notice much in the steering. It's great if you're driving efficient anyways. It's going to be awkward if you're trying to get on the highway and you give it a little bit of gas and it doesn't downshift. You give it a little bit more gas, it doesn't downshift, and then you give it a little more gas and it goes full throttle kind of thing, downshifts a couple gears. You have an 8-speed dual clutch transmission in this, so the Eco mode is perfectly fine in this when you're driving efficiently. I don't love the Eco mode because it can cause drivability issues if you start getting aggressive with your pedal. It's going to resist that. That's what you want in an Eco mode. But just keep in mind, it does make the car feel a little more sluggish. Sport mode is the exact opposite. When you put it in sport mode, you are going to notice that the car is very punchy. The steering is very direct. There's, touching the throttle. Half throttle on sport mode is going to be more aggressive than half throttle on Eco mode. So it changes the mapping of the throttle. It makes it more aggressive in everything else. And if you're towing a trailer and going up a hill and you want to keep it in the power band a little bit better, you do have paddle shifters, which we can show you in a second here. But sport mode is going to work with you without having to shift gears on your own to keep it in the revs, and that's what you're going to have. And speaking of revs, let's just show you the dash for a second. All right, there we go. If we show you the dash, at about 1,400, 1,700 RPM, you're going to have maximum torque of 311 foot-pounds, where my fingernail is. Maximum torque there. Most vehicles reach maximum torque over in this area. This vehicle still has maximum torque here. So 311 foot-pounds from here in the revs all the way across most of the revs, 4,500 or so RPM, is max torque on this car. So if you're towing a trailer, 3,500 pounds is the capacity with this, but you're going to have plenty of torque and it's going to be available down low in the revs, which is what you want. So again, sport mode, really good for that. Coming back down here, smart mode, the mode I recommend driving in the most. Smart mode basically puts it in eco mode by default. So it's going to keep you trying for economy. But as you get into the throttle, as you start whipping the steering wheel back and forth, it can move you into comfort mode. So a sort of a in-between of sport and eco, or down to sport mode. So you can go, smart mode will bring you from eco to comfort to sport based on your throttle usage, that kind of thing. Now, that's where I recommend the smart mode. So then you touch this down and you get the terrain modes. Well, now you have snow mode, mud mode, and sand mode. Each of those are going to work with the all-wheel drive system to optimize not just the all-wheel drive system, but the traction control system, the stability control, everything else that you need for sand, mud, and snow. Now, the common question I get asked is, well, in snow mode, what if I'm driving on a road and all of a sudden I hit snow? Do I have to go searching for the drive mode? No, the all-wheel drive is always active. We can talk about that in another video. A very good system. Every time you start from a stop, all four wheels receive traction. It'll only back away the power from the rear wheels as it maintains traction. It does not have to wait for the front wheels to slip before sending power to the rear wheels. It always starts in all-wheel drive and sends it forward. That's better because you don't have to wait to lose traction and then hope to regain traction. It's going to do everything it can to maintain traction. So all-wheel drive is always active, and that means you can always hit the snow. The snow mode is going to optimize everything. Traction control, all-wheel drive, every system for snowy conditions, and just help you stay in control that way. So let's go back around here. Let's go back out of the driver attention warning for a quick second. Drive and terrain modes, you can customize some of these things. You can set the alerts up, and you can detailed, simple, or that kind of thing. Just go through one more time. Heads-up display. This is the one I wanted to talk to you about. Enable the heads-up display, display the control. You can move it up or down. You can do all kinds of things. Content selection is really what I want to show you. All of these things, turn-by-turn directions of your navigation, traffic signs, driving convenience information, blind spot safety information, and radio media information. All of those can be displayed in your heads-up display. So what I really like is if you look over here, you can now see a car in there. It's in between lines. That's your lane keeping assist information. Ooh, where's my finger? There we go. Beside that, you will see a little orange warning light. Come on, camera. Oh, can't get it in focus again. There we go. Beside that, you will see a little orange warning light, or maybe it's red. I think it's orange, when your blind spot detection in the mirror goes off. So again, when that symbol right there is lit up, you will see that in your heads-up display right over there. Again, ignore the flickering. That's just the way it interacts with the camera. What I really like about that blind spot detection in that heads-up display is, as I'm looking forward, obviously you should keep an eye on what's around you, but you know if there's something in your blind spot, when you're looking out forward, you can see it in your blind spot because that light is on. If you don't see anything there, then you could check your mirrors and prepare to make your signal. But you know you can't signal if there's something in your blind spot. So you just have that little bit extra warning without having to glance to the side to see that there is something in your blind spot. So really good information in there. Let's go back here and take a couple more looks at a few more things here. We did the cluster. Climate settings is pretty cool too. You can set up the recirculation of air based on when your washer fluid is in use, or recirculation mode plus, which again, let's just turn that on. Uses navigation information to prevent unpleasant gases and odors from entering the vehicle at known locations. So in other words, if they know you're going through a stinky location, your navigation system can turn on your recirculation. In other words, cut off the outside air. Pretty cool stuff. Automatic ventilation, you can auto dehumidify. So when it gets foggy in here, inside, humid in here, it'll automatically defog, and you can see that same thing, auto defog and auto dehumidify. So both options. The recirculated air one is a lot of people don't know that, so it's pretty cool. I like to show that as well. Seats are pretty cool. You can set it up so it changes, when you change the seat position, it shows on the screen. Not everybody wants that. You can set up when you turn the car off, the seat moves forward and back, but the rear seat heating control I think is really useful. Rear seats have heating in this vehicle, the center row seats, and they have 2 levels of seat heating. It's only on the seat bottom, so the picture is a little misleading. But when you're going to pick up some friends in the middle of the winter, you don't have to reach back and find the button on the door handle. You can just turn the seat heater on for them. Or, especially when you take like maybe elderly people out that aren't used to having those rear seat controls, you can turn down, oh, my seat heater is really getting warm. You can turn that down for them or up for them right from the driver's seat here. So that's a pretty nice function. Again, stuff that you're not gonna see in other videos. All right, we'll go finally to lights. We'll finish off here. Headlight delay, high beam assist. You have an automatic high beam that turns on and off as it sees traffic. Headlight delay, which when you turn the car off, it'll leave the lights on for a little bit. And one-touch turn signal you can set for 3 flashes or 5 flashes or 7 flashes. So in other words, when I just touch the button right over here like that, it's set to go for 3. So one more time. And again, you can set it up so that it changes 7 flashes, 5 flashes, or 3 flashes, or just once when you touch it. All right, so that's enough for that. Do me a favor, guys. Is this helpful? Should we go through some more sometime? I know we did a little bit less. I get that these are kind of boring for some people, but a lot of people like them. So we every now and then do stuff like this. If you want to know more about this vehicle, specifically questions that I'm not showing here, I'm perfectly happy to throw this video back in the video bay. I just need you to say, hey, I want to know more about this vehicle. Can you make another video about this vehicle? And tell me maybe there's something you want to see, or maybe just you want to find out stuff you don't know. I'm cool with that. Let's go back to your questions right now. We got about 46 people on, 48 people on. Still looking for about 45 likes. So we got about 9 of you to 11 of you, I guess, that are holding out on me. Do me a favor, you can hit that like button and we'll see what we can do. All right, just gonna make sure the vehicle's off for a second. Ooh, that's not a good look. All right, I'm gonna double check your questions here to make sure I've got some, and then we'll go through some of your questions and we can continue on a tiny bit. We are past that 30-minute mark, so I'll take off-topic questions as well here. And we'll go through and see if we can answer all your questions and keep you guys learning more. All right. You should always double check. You can miss the light on the exit too. Yes, so double checking when you see the lanes blind spot warning, always double check. So what I always tell people, if the light is on, someone's there. If it's off, you still need to check. So basically it rarely faults to the on position if nobody's there. So when I say you look at your heads-up display, if it's on, you know you can't change lanes. If it's off, then double check, right? Usually you're fine to assume that it's okay. So yes, absolutely don't check. Peter, can you do the same video with the 2022 Nero EV? Yes, we don't have a Nero EV in stock right now, but 100%. I like doing these kinds of videos for you guys. And I get it, they're weird videos, but I think some people find them helpful. Do I have a preference between this and the Santa Fe? I like the styling of this better. I've driven the Santa Fe Hybrid, which is a really intriguing vehicle that the Sorento hasn't quite launched yet. It will launch soon. So it's gonna depend. If you had to buy a car today, The sporty styling of the Sorento appeals to me more, but that hybrid version of the Santa Fe, and I like the way they mix some things in. You can get, at least my feeling is you can get the panoramic roof at a lower trim level in the Santa Fe, which is nice. That being said, there's pros and cons to each one. So I would say test drive them both. It's gonna come down to how much you wanna spend, because at that price point is usually gonna be stuff. So somebody says, this isn't weird, it's informative. Okay, I appreciate that. You know, this is good to know. This is kind of my specialty, guys. The nerd stuff that nobody knows about your cars. This is what I spend time studying all night, overnight. It's kind of, I'm a nerd that way. It works that way. All right, just leave a thumbs up because you helped me choose my car. Please keep doing the great work. Thank you for that. I'm glad that it was helpful for you. Okay, current MSRP. Oh, we didn't show the MSRP. Let's just show the one that we're actually looking at today. That's a really good point. MSRP right now, this is a 2021 model. I assume 2022 will probably go up a couple $100. $47,495. They don't tend to go down with years, so expect a couple $100 price jump for 2022. You do get that spare tire in there for 2022 as well. So $47,495 is the top of the line, which sounds very expensive. But feature for feature, this car is incredibly good value. And again, it's not going to be for everyone. There are much cheaper models. I don't want you to be scared off of that price. But feature for feature in the SX trim line, that's the very top of the line. Things like Honda in this category, they basically start at 50 and they don't have anywhere near the options. So something to consider there. We'll come back here. All right, see if I can get back to your questions here. I saw your review of the X-Line earlier in the year. You suggested that the new drive modes are better than the lock mode on earlier models. Why is it offered? I think you meant why isn't it offered in the United States? So our drive modes versus your lock mode. In something like the Kia Sportage right now, we don't have drive modes. We have a four-wheel drive lock button that essentially acts like a differential lock. It kind of locks all four wheels together. In the United States, the Sorento has that, and it does not have the drive modes. My understanding, and I don't know if this is true or not, but somebody has told me once that there is a patent by somebody like Land Rover on those drive modes, or maybe it's Jeep, one of those two, I think they all have them, that you can't have that in certain vehicles, and it doesn't work with certain patents in the United States. So in Canada, we get lucky, we get these drive modes and terrain modes, which I think are very helpful. We have them on our Telluride, our Palisade, Sorento, Santa Fe, Tucson, I believe, maybe not Tucson, but we have them on a whole bunch of vehicles, Santa Cruz, which you guys don't have in the States. So you guys have no idea what you're missing in the States, but we have them here. My understanding is I think there was a patent issue on something like that, so I'm not sure. Are the map updates at a dealer? If so, is there a cost? Map updates are generally free for 10 years on these. You can do them yourself. You put it on a USB on your computer, you drop it in the USB port, and it updates on its own. So that is something to keep in mind. The most recent one on our lower trim cars, previous year model year, this did more than a map update, gave us full software update of the main screen. So something to keep in mind when you do those map updates. Read the fine print, because you may be getting more than map updates. You may or may not want that. We did a sort of controversial video on that earlier when my screen went full to the purple theme that they have now. I was not expecting that, so we talked about it. Okay, hello from the Netherlands. Yeah, that was cool. Okay, so I think I got all your questions. If there's something I missed, let me know. I think we're just going to leave it at that. We've hit our sort of 37-ish minute mark. That feels like it's a good, maybe probably too long video. And that's what we do. Too long videos are my specialty. So we were looking for 5 more likes. If you guys have a like to leave, feel free to leave it right now. And again, we're not a regular review channel. We can pull this back in at any point and do more videos to cover more things. And as you can see, we didn't cover a lot of the vehicle today, but we still covered things the entire time. So there's a lot more to cover on this vehicle. I'd be happy to do that if you guys want. Somebody said towing capacity on this vehicle, actually this is a good point. All turbo models tow 3,500 pounds, kind of class competitive. The non-turbo model of the Sorento tows 2,700 pounds, of the Santa Fe tows 2,000 pounds. So 700 pound more towing capacity in the non-turbo Sorento than the non-turbo Santa Fe. However, the Santa Cruz with the non-turbo engine in Hyundai's lineup tows 3,500 pounds. So a real variance in tow capacities on per engine. And of course, the Santa Cruz that tows 3,500 pounds, we don't have that in Canada, just in the States. In Canada, all of our Santa Cruzes are turbo, and they all tow 5,000 pounds. So this one, 3,500 pounds, lower trim level, 2,700 pounds. That extra 700 pounds can really make a difference. You can tow that 2,000 pound trailer and all your luggage and your family and probably not be overweight, whereas if you have 2,000 pounds towing capacity, you got to keep in mind how much luggage and family you put in your car. And that may mean you can't take the trailer you want. So nice to know that there as well. Is there a difference between highway driving assist and normal lane keep and cruise control? Yes. Lane follow assist is basically working with highway drive assist, not lane keeping assist. It's a little bit more precise. It gets a little fuzzy in the weeds there, but the latest version of that highway drive assist currently, and it's about to be updated again in the new Ioniq 5, gives you things like speed limit and curve control. So when it sees those speed limits, it can keep the speed limit. It's a little bit more, for lack of a better term, autonomous-y driving than without. And you can see that HDA show up. So when it sees that, it's using your navigation as well. When the HDA doesn't show up, it's just smart cruise control and lane keeping assist. And I know that doesn't make a whole lot of difference, but it's just a little bit more precise when the HDA shows up because it's navigation based as well. I'll have to do a better video on that in the future for you guys. Okay, I think that's it. We're gonna leave it there for now, and hope you guys liked it. Hopefully this will be watched in the future, and we'll go from there. So thanks everybody for watching. Oh, trim for me. Which trim would I like? EX Plus trim. The Sorento is super nice in the SX trim. I think you can get everything I want, although you don't have the Bose audio, but I really like the panoramic roof on the EX Plus trim. But you never know. It's not that much more per month to spring for the SX, so maybe that's the one to go for as well. I do love this turbo engine with the dual clutch transmission. It's very fast, it's very fun, and SUVs generally aren't that fun, but it's pretty quick and fun. All right. This was fun. We got to 44 likes. One of you is holding out on me. All right, thanks everybody for watching. We'll have a great afternoon, and we'll see you again tomorrow. I haven't decided what I'm doing tomorrow, so feel free to suggest that. You can suggest that here, or you can suggest it on my Instagram. I always try to post on Instagram, at least in my story, what I'm doing that day, so that we'll go from there. All right, it's been fun. We got to 45 likes. You guys are awesome. We'll